On the morning of July 7th, 2025, Jungkook, the youngest member of BTS and one of the most influential global pop icons, was spotted at Incheon International Airport. As usual, his airport appearance immediately caught the attention of media outlets and fans. Dressed in a minimalist, effortlessly cool outfit, the most notable piece of his attire was a Calvin Klein cap, once again fueling curiosity about his ongoing partnership with the American fashion brand. This sighting is not just a fashion moment. It could be a signal. Over the years, Jungkook's airport appearances have often preceded major events, including international travel for performances, award shows, and high-profile brand campaigns. The key question circulating now is simple yet intriguing. Is Jungkook heading to New York City for a show, or perhaps even a concert? While no official announcement has been made regarding an upcoming event, the timing of this airport sighting, his Calvin Klein branding, and subtle hints through social media all suggest something may be brewing. Here's what we know so far, and what industry watchers are speculating. That a closer look at his outfit. Jungkook's look was clean and intentional. The black Calvin Klein cap stood out immediately. Followed his known fashion preferences: monochromatic, streetwear-influenced, and brand-aligned. In particular, Calvin Klein has played a significant role in his public image lately. As the brand's global ambassador since 2023, Jungkook has appeared in numerous campaigns and continues to be associated with their modern, youthful identity. Wearing Calvin Klein in such a public setting could be part of a subtle brand promotion, or a hint toward an upcoming event in collaboration with the brand. The partnership between Jungkook and Calvin Klein is one of the most high-profile collaborations between a K-pop star and an American fashion house. Calvin Klein has traditionally leaned on bold, youthful aesthetics, and Jungkook brings a unique mix of global appeal and personal charisma that aligns perfectly with the brand's direction. Since their collaboration began, Jungkook's involvement has ranged from photo shoots and fashion campaigns to limited edition clothing lines. The airport appearance, complete with Calvin Klein branding, could easily be tied to a new campaign, possibly in New York, where the brand has its corporate headquarters and flagship presence. What's going on in New York City? Why is NYC even being discussed in connection to Jungkook right now? New York has long been a central location for global entertainment events. Fashion Week, late-night shows, music award ceremonies, and luxury brand events often take place there. Given Jungkook's status, he would likely travel for any of these, particularly if it involved Calvin Klein. Several fashion insiders have pointed out that New York Fashion Week, men's, is just around the corner. This aligns with the possibility of Jungkook making an appearance either as a guest or even part of a promotional show. Additionally, rumors are circulating about a Calvin Klein private show or pop-up event happening this month in NYC, possibly featuring Jungkook either as the central figure or as part of an influencer-based campaign rollout. So far, Big Hit Music has not released any statement about a solo tour or an official Jungkook concert. However, it is common in the entertainment industry for artists to make surprise appearances or participate in exclusive performances that are not widely advertised in advance. In 2023 and 2024, Jungkook made multiple unannounced appearances at events and shows overseas. From surprise musical collaborations to brand activations, his schedule has often remained under tight secrecy until just before the actual event. This has led fans and industry media to remain on alert whenever he is seen traveling abroad, especially when connected to a high-profile brand like Calvin Klein. At this point, the notion that Jungkook is headed to New York for a show or concert remains unconfirmed. But that hasn't stopped media outlets from discussing the possibilities. Several entertainment journalists in Seoul and New York have cited anonymous sources within the fashion and event industries suggesting that something big is in motion. What adds credibility to this speculation is the timing. Post-military enlistment schedules are now in focus for many BTS members, and the second half of 2025 has been predicted as a re-entry phase for high-profile promotional activities. Jungkook's presence at the airport might be one of the first major public moves in this phase. Interestingly, neither Big Hit nor Calvin Klein has issued any statement regarding his flight. This is consistent with past moments where Jungkook's activities were not pre-announced, especially when tied to confidential brand partnerships or unreleased musical material. Flight data and paparazzi reports suggest that Jungkook may be en route to the United States. However, specifics such as flight number or arrival destination remain speculative due to privacy considerations and the high-profile nature of his travel. Across platforms like Twitter, X, TikTok, and Instagram, fans have quickly picked up on the images from Incheon Airport and are now trying to piece together the story. Hashtags like hashtag Jungkook and Calvin, hashtag Jungkook NYC, and hashtag Is He Going to Perform have started trending regionally. While much of the conversation is speculative, a significant portion focuses on tracking past Calvin Klein activities in the US, comparing timelines, and even analyzing the model cycles of previous campaigns to predict what might be next. Some ARMY communities have even begun organizing fan projects and watch parties just in case something happens in NYC over the next few days. Etio summarize. Today's sighting of Jungkook at Incheon Airport wearing a Calvin Klein cap has stirred significant interest not only among fans but also in fashion and entertainment circles. While there's no emotional element to report, the facts suggest a potential alignment of brand activity, fashion events in New York, and Jungkook's rising public schedule. Could this lead to a surprise concert, a show, or even a new brand campaign? The pieces are in motion, and observers around the world are watching closely. Calvin Klein has always played a pivotal role in shaping modern fashion culture, not only in the United States but globally. In recent years, the brand has leaned heavily into celebrity influence and targeted campaigns to revitalize its youthful, urban image. And in that strategic rebranding, Jungkook has become one of their most high-impact assets. The timing of his appearance at Incheon Airport wearing Calvin Klein gear has now prompted speculation that a brand-centric event may be underway, particularly in New York City, where Calvin Klein frequently holds internal brand previews, private pop-up showcases, and high-profile launches. So, is Jungkook's travel linked to one of Calvin Klein's NYC activations? Let's break it down. Over the last 3 years, Calvin Klein has conducted multiple New York-based brand activations, including private pop-up exhibitions in Soho and Lower Manhattan capsule collection releases hosted with celebrity ambassadors, collaborative events with photographers and stylists at CK's Manhattan headquarters, secret showcases tied to brand relaunches or global announcements. These events typically remain unpublicized until the very last minute, designed to generate maximum buzz through surprise factor. Calvin Klein leverages its celebrities as both fashion icons and cultural magnets, which explains why someone like Jungkook may appear suddenly at one of these functions. His presence isn't just about fashion, it's about elevating brand relevance in both Asia and North America simultaneously. It is part of a global marketing strategy focused on digital virality, physical attendance, and influencer amplification. According to publicly available event calendars and insider reporting from fashion media, New York has several major industry dates between July 7, 21. Fashion Tech Integration Week NYC, multiple Calvin Klein internal fashion review sessions, a rumored Calvin Klein capsule launch at a private Soho venue, recording sessions linked to global content for digital platforms. While Jungkook may or may not attend all these events, his presence aligns with key brand marketing cycles. CK typically releases new global campaigns in Q3, and the promotional phase often begins in July. Thus, his departure from Korea could correspond with photo shoots, digital content filming, or even a guest appearance at an industry-only Calvin Klein event. Historically, Jungkook has participated in multiple global events under tight confidentiality. In 2023, his presence at a Calvin Klein shoot in Los Angeles was only confirmed after the campaign went live. Similarly, his surprise attendance at a fashion influencer dinner in Tokyo was not announced in advance. This level of secrecy is strategic. Calvin Klein utilizes these surprise moments to create a viral marketing cycle. Fans and media see the celebrity at an airport, speculate, and the mystery builds until the final reveal, whether through campaign images or exclusive content. It's a tested, effective format. And based on Jungkook's current movements, it may be repeating itself once again. For a brand like Calvin Klein, New York City remains a global fashion capital. Many of CK's top creative directors, marketing teams, and executive decision-makers are based in Manhattan. Jungkook's presence in NYC would allow face-to-face coordination, live campaign shooting, and joint strategy development. Additionally, New York provides the backdrop for urban fashion themes, the cornerstone of CK's minimalist, image-diverse media coverage from fashion to pop culture outlets cross-promotional opportunities with other brands, stylists, or influencers present in the city at the same time. It's worth noting that Jungkook's image represents more than just style. It carries impact in music, digital trends, and even fragrance campaigns. His multidimensional influence makes him a flexible asset across multiple campaign types. While no concert has been officially confirmed, NYC also serves as a recording hub for global artists, including those involved in post-military comeback preparations. There is ongoing speculation that Jungkook's trip could also include studio work, brand sound design collaboration, or behind-the-scenes content creation. In past cases, other BTS members have combined brand events with music-related sessions. If Jungkook is following a similar path, his Calvin Klein agenda may not be the only reason for his travel, especially if his next phase as a solo artist is about to launch. Combining fashion and music in one trip would be both time-efficient and strategically aligned with what Big Hit and Calvin Klein have done before. Since 2022, Calvin Klein has ramped up its Asia to West global pipeline. Jungkook's role fits squarely in this push, a Korean star who resonates globally, especially among Gen Z and millennial consumers. By moving its ambassadors across major cities like Seoul, Tokyo, London, and New York, Calvin Klein leverages regional trends and turns them into international cultural moments. That could explain why Jungkook's cap, a small, easily visible detail, was part of his airport outfit. It's brand signaling, not just to the public, but to Calvin Klein's partners, media outlets, and potential collaborators. As speculation builds around his potential arrival in New York City for a Calvin Klein-related event, it's important to assess the business side of his presence. What exactly has Jungkook contributed to Calvin Klein's performance in North America, and why is his connection to NYC-based fashion markets so relevant? When Jungkook was officially announced as a global ambassador for Calvin Klein in 2023, industry experts viewed the move as a calculated strategy to expand the brand's footprint in Asia. However, post-campaign analysis revealed something more significant, a surprising and sharp increase in U.S. digital engagement and direct-to-consumer purchases. Within 3 weeks of the initial campaign launch, Calvin Klein saw a 23% spike in web traffic from U.S. IP addresses, a 17% increase in sales conversions from first-time customers aged 18, 34 over 120 million campaign impressions generated via TikTok, Instagram, and X, formerly Twitter, 42% of which came from U.S.-based accounts. These numbers are substantial for a fashion brand that had previously struggled to retain market share among younger demographics in North America. Jungkook's involvement repositioned Calvin Klein's branding from nostalgic Americana to global modernity, with fresh relevance and Gen Z approval. Jungkook's U.S. fanbase has grown significantly post-2022, particularly after the success of his solo digital singles and televised appearances. What distinguishes his fan reception in the American fashion market is the organic adoption of his personal style by non-K-pop consumers. Examples include search term spikes for Jungkook Calvin Klein outfit across Google Trends in the U.S. mainstream fashion magazines, e.g., GQ, Esquire, Vogue US, naming him among best-dressed celebrities. American stylists and influencers referencing his wardrobe during fashion critique panels and TikTok style reviews. It's no longer just K-pop fans noticing him. His image is being integrated into broader conversations about minimalist luxury and global fashion standards. Calvin Klein's core American audience has shifted over the years. Once dominant in suburban malls and mainstream denim retail, the brand saw a decline in distinctiveness during the late 2010s. The collaboration with Jungkook aimed to combat that by modernizing the brand's identity, expanding cultural reach beyond traditional Western aesthetics, connecting with global digital native consumers by using Jungkook in campaigns based in urban U.S. settings like New York and Los Angeles. Calvin Klein doesn't just capitalize on his Korean celebrity status. It redefines the brand's accessibility to international, trend-forward consumers who seek global voices in fashion leadership. New York City is not only the cultural hub of the U.S. fashion industry, but also a key location for media amplification. A single photo of Jungkook in a Calvin Klein look walking out of a Manhattan studio or boutique could serve as free viral marketing PR coverage across fashion media outlets, trend forecasting for upcoming CK collections. NYC-based photographers, bloggers, and fashion editors serve as distribution vectors for celebrity-endorsed looks. When those moments happen on the streets of New York, one of the world's most photographed cities, brand awareness becomes product conversion. This is why many analysts believe Jungkook's presence in the city would have tactical, not coincidental, intent. According to Calvin Klein's quarterly reports in 2023 and 2024, North America remains the second largest contributor to the brand's global revenue. Key takeaways include digital direct-to-consumer revenue rose by 11% YoY, largely due to increased traffic from mobile platforms. Jungkook-led campaigns outperformed legacy campaigns by 38% in social engagement and 25% in click-through rates. Calvin Klein's men's apparel division saw a notable lift in denim and underwear categories, two product areas directly tied to Jungkook's campaign visuals. These figures validate Calvin Klein's strategic use of K-pop stardom not only for Asian market entry, but for domestic revitalization. Perhaps one of the most underrated aspects of Jungkook's commercial value in the US is brand loyalty transfer. Fans who associate positively with his Calvin Klein looks often make purchases simply to replicate the aesthetic. This behavior is reinforced by product restocks often selling out in U.S. regions. First, high engagement in Calvin Klein's U.S.-based e-commerce reviews featuring phrases like "saw Jungkook," where this social campaigns using micro-influencers who cite Jungkook as inspiration. Such patterns support the theory that Jungkook's personal fashion identity is consumer convertible, a trait very few celebrity endorsers consistently achieve across markets.